Did you know that humans make an average of 200 decisions every day that require polite language? That's thousands of tiny social negotiations happening through just three powerful words: please, thank you, and sorry.
That's such a fascinating way to think about it. And what's really interesting is how these expressions vary across cultures. I was reading about how Japanese has multiple levels of thank you, depending on social status.
Well, you know what's really caught my attention lately? The neuroscience behind these words. Studies show that hearing a genuine thank you actually triggers the release of oxytocin, the same hormone associated with bonding and trust. It's like these words are literally rewiring our brains.
Hmm. That makes me think about how children develop these social skills. Have you seen the research about early language development and politeness?
Oh, yes. And here's what's fascinating. Research shows that children who regularly use polite expressions by age 3 demonstrate 40% better emotional regulation by age 7. It's like these words are actually teaching them empathy in real time.
That's incredible. And it really explains why these expressions are usually among the first things parents teach their children.
Well, speaking of teaching, I recently came across this study about workplace communication. Companies that implement formal politeness training see a 28% reduction in workplace conflicts and a 15% increase in employee satisfaction. But here's the really interesting part. It's not just about using the words, it's about meaning them.
You know, that reminds me of something I read about digital communication. Apparently, emails containing both please and thank you are 35% more likely to receive a response.
And what's fascinating is how these digital interactions are changing the way we express politeness. Like, a study from Stanford showed that younger generations are developing entirely new politeness markers. Think about how a simple heart emoji has become a legitimate way to express gratitude.
That's making me think about how artificial intelligence is being programmed to understand these social cues. It must be incredibly complex.
Oh, you're absolutely right about that. The latest natural language processing models actually have to be trained on millions of human interactions just to understand the difference between a sincere thank you and a sarcastic one. And they still only get it right about 82% of the time.
Well, that really shows how nuanced human communication is, doesn't it? These seemingly simple words carry so much contextual weight.
Speaking of context, let me share something fascinating from anthropology. Researchers have found that societies with more elaborate politeness rituals tend to have more complex social hierarchies. It's like these expressions evolved as a way to navigate power dynamics without conflict.
That's such an interesting historical perspective. And it really helps explain why these expressions can sometimes feel so loaded with meaning.
You know what else is fascinating? The economic impact of politeness. Customer service research shows that companies using standardized polite expressions see a 23% increase in customer retention. But here's the catch. If the customer perceives the politeness as insincere, satisfaction actually drops by 15%.
That really demonstrates how these words are tools that need to be used skillfully, doesn't it?
Exactly right. And in crisis situations, these tools become even more crucial. Studies of emergency response teams show that maintaining polite communication under stress reduces error rates by nearly 30%. It's like these words create a buffer that helps us think more clearly.
That's remarkable. And it really shows how these expressions are about more than just being nice. They're fundamental to human cooperation.
Well, looking at all this research, it's clear that please, thank you, and sorry aren't just social niceties. They're sophisticated tools that help us navigate complex social situations, build trust, and even influence brain chemistry. Who would have thought such simple words could have such profound effects?
That's such a perfect way to wrap up our exploration of these fascinating linguistic tools. It really makes you think twice about the power of politeness.